The MotoGP paddock is in a state of absolute clinical shock. While the world was watching the checkered flag, a ghost from the past has been resurrected in the body of a new titan. They said no one could ever replicate the feral, law-defying instincts of Casey Stoner, but Yamaha's new weapon, Toprak Razgatlioglu, just proved everyone wrong in a single, terrifying test session. Even champions like Fabio Quartararo and veterans like Jack Miller stood paralyzed by the telemetry data. This isn't just a rider swap, it's a violent overhaul of the sport's DNA. From Honda's secret 850cc monster to the end of Lin Jarvis's 30-year empire, the golden era is dead. Welcome to the dawn of a new, brutal reign. The atmosphere in the Yamaha garage has shifted from cautious optimism to pure, unadulterated shock as Toprak Razgatlioglu begins his meteoric ascent into the MotoGP stratosphere. It is not merely about speed, it is about a supernatural connection between man and machine that hasn't been witnessed in the paddock for over a decade. Veteran racing manager Alberto Varani, a man who has seen the rise and fall of countless legends, stood in stunned silence at the Valencia tests, watching Toprak manipulate the bike with a violent yet poetic grace. The paddock is whispering of a glitch in the matrix, as Toprak's entry speeds and braking markers defy the current laws of physics governing the M1. Fabio Quartararo and Jack Miller, seasoned warriors of the tarmac, reportedly watched the telemetry with wide-eyed disbelief, realizing that the hierarchy of the sport is about to be violently dismantled by a rider who treats a 300-horsepower prototype like a mere extension of his own nervous system. The comparisons to Casey Stoner are not being made lightly. They are being screamed from the rooftops by those who understand the raw mechanics of talent. Much like the legendary Australian who tamed the untamable Ducati, Toprak possesses a feral racing instinct that bypasses traditional logic. He does not wait for the engineers to perfect the chassis or the electronics. He simply overrides the limitations of the hardware through sheer force of will and a freakish sense of balance. Varani notes that Toprak has brought back that Stoner-esque magic where the rider becomes the primary computer, adjusting his body weight and throttle application in microseconds to compensate for mechanical deficiencies. It is a terrifying prospect for the competition, as Toprak isn't looking for a perfect bike, he is looking for a weapon he can bend to his command, signaling a return to an era where raw human ability once again triumphs over the cold, calculated algorithms of modern motorcycle racing. What truly separates Toprak from the current grid is a psychological fortitude that borders on the fanatical. While other riders spend hours in front of monitors complaining about chatter, grip levels, or aerodynamic drag, Toprak has reportedly silenced the Yamaha garage with a simple, brutal philosophy: give me the bike, and I will find the limit. This no-excuses mental framework is a direct throwback to the golden age of racing, where the champion's primary duty was to adapt or perish. By refusing to engage in the culture of technical finger-pointing, Toprak has ignited a fire within the Yamaha engineering team, forcing them to match his relentless intensity. This mindset is infectious and dangerous. It creates a vacuum where only victory can exist. He is not here to participate in the development cycle. He is here to conquer the machine and the field simultaneously, proving that a champion's heart is the most powerful component of any motorcycle, regardless of the brand on the fairing. Despite the initial brilliance, the road to the 2026 season is paved with unprecedented obstacles that would break a lesser man. Toprak is not just switching teams, he is entering a total sensory overhaul. Every circuit will be a foreign landscape at these speeds. Every tire carcass provided by the supplier will demand a different language of feedback, and every mechanical component will be a mystery waiting to be solved under the immense pressure of the global spotlight. This is a high-stakes gamble that risks a stellar legacy for the chance at eternal MotoGP immortality. The transition is being described as a baptism by fire, where there is no safety net and no room for error. The racing world watches with bated breath, wondering if this transition will be the greatest success story in modern sports or a cautionary tale of ambition. Yet, looking into Toprak's eyes, one sees only the cold, calculated focus of a predator who has already visualized the trophy in his hands. The departure of Lin Jarvis is not just a retirement, it is the tectonic shifting of Yamaha's very foundation. For 3 decades, Jarvis has been the silent architect of glory, the diplomat who managed the egos of titans like Valentino Rossi and Jorge Lorenzo, and the strategist who navigated Yamaha through its darkest hours. His decision to cut all ties and move toward complete independence marks the true end of an era. The paddock feels emptier knowing that the man who orchestrated 8 world championships is finally walking away from the pit wall for the last time. His legacy is etched in the carbon fiber and gold trophies that line the halls of Iwata, a testament to a career defined by grace, ironclad discipline, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. As he steps into the shadows, he leaves behind a void that may never be truly filled, signaling a transition from the old guard of racing royalty to a chaotic, unpredictable new future. Lin Jarvis did not simply walk away. He ensured that the house he built would stand long after his departure. His final act was a masterclass in sports diplomacy, acting as the crucial bridge between the manufacturers and the powerful executives at Dorna. He was the primary weaver of the 2027-2031 regulatory fabric, ensuring that the sport remains viable, competitive, and breathtakingly fast for the next generation. This final contribution is perhaps his most significant, as it stabilizes the financial and technical future of every team on the grid. He negotiated terms that balanced the hunger of the giants with the survival of the independent teams, proving one last time that his vision extended far beyond the next corner. Even in his exit, Jarvis remained the grandmaster of the paddock, moving pieces on a chessboard that most people didn't even realize existed, ensuring a legacy of stability that will be felt for decades to come. While the world was distracted by rider swaps, Honda Racing Corporation (HRC) was busy building a monster in the dark. The unveiling of the RC214V prototype is a declaration of war against the current status quo. This is not a mere evolution, it is a violent rejection of the present in favor of a dominant future. By being the first to aggressively test the 850cc engine configuration and a stripped-down aerodynamic profile, Honda is telegraphing its intent to reclaim the throne by any means necessary. The sight of this sleek, menacing machine on the track sent shockwaves through the pit lane, as rivals realized that the Japanese giant has stopped licking its wounds and has started sharpening its blades. This project represents a multi-million-dollar, all-in bet on the 2027 regulations, proving that Honda's pride is far more dangerous than its temporary slump. They are not just building a new bike, they are engineering a new era of undisputed dominance. The secret weapon in Honda's 2027 arsenal isn't just the engine, it's the rubber meeting the road. The decision to begin secret testing with Pirelli tires ahead of the official 2027 supplier change is a stroke of tactical genius. By gathering data on how the 850cc power delivery interacts with the Pirelli carcass years in advance, Honda is gaining a time traveler's advantage over the rest of the field. Takaaki Nakagami's feedback on this hybrid setup is being guarded like a state secret, as it contains the DNA of the next championship winning formula. This transition from Michelin to Pirelli will fundamentally change the physics of cornering and braking, and Honda is already learning to speak that new language, while others are still struggling with the current alphabet. It is a cold, calculated move that demonstrates HRC's massive resources and their willingness to exploit every possible technical loophole to ensure they are never slow again. Honda's recent flashes of brilliance have come at a heavy strategic cost, as their elevation to Category C concession status has stripped them of their most potent developmental weapons. The golden age of unlimited testing and engine development is officially over, forcing the HRC engineers into a desperate race against the clock. They are now shackled by the same restrictive rules as Ducati and KTM, meaning every single lap on track must now be perfect. There is no more room for trial and error, there is only do or die. This regulatory promotion is a double-edged sword. It proves the bike is getting faster, but it removes the very tools that made it faster in the first place. The tension inside the HRC command center is palpable, as they must now achieve more with significantly less, turning the 2025 season into a high-pressure laboratory where one wrong technical direction could set the entire 2027 project back by years. To survive the new testing restrictions, Honda has implemented a schism strategy that divides their resources into two distinct, warring fronts. On one side, Elise Espargaro has been tasked with the grueling, thankless job of squeezing every ounce of performance out of the current RC213V, fighting for every point in a season that is already being viewed as a transition. On the other side, the legendary test rider Nakagami has been exiled to a secret development program, focusing exclusively on the 850cc RC214V Ghost machine. This internal division of labor is a high-risk gamble. It essentially sacrifices the now for the forever. It is a brutal realization that to win tomorrow, they must be willing to suffer today. The duality of this approach highlights the sheer desperation and ambition of Honda, a sleeping dragon that has finally woken up, hungry for the blood of its rivals, and obsessed with returning to the top of the podium.